HaystackColorado.com brings you reliable companies, but also wants to help. If you have a complaint about any company or business, send us a message through the help box right on the homepage of HaystackColorado.com. Haystack Help is made possible by Denver Suzuki, Colorado's #1 Suzuki dealer. Welcome back. Divorce can be a very tough process for everyone involved. Oftentimes it can turn into a war that can leave a family emotionally and financially ruined. In addition to helping you plan for wills and trusts, J.R. Phillips and Associates also offer what they call Humane Divorce. Attorney John R. Phillips is here to talk about their Humane Divorce process. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chris.
And like we do with all companies that we have on Haystack TV and HaystackColorado.com, we do background checks. So I'm going to tell our viewers what we found out about you and your firm. It's all good. We found that you're a member of the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys. J.R. Phillips and Associates also belongs to the AARP Legal Services Network, and you're a Better Business Bureau accredited company with an A+ rating. Now, you say that your firm has kind of developed what you call this humane divorce process. Why don't you explain what exactly that is?
Well, Chris, our firm does a lot of wills, trust, and probate, and dealing with people and when there's a mortality in the family, an illness, a conservatorship or guardianship, or death in the family. What we found out is that we have done some family law in the past and did not like the adversarial process, where people that were hurting, they would take lawyers who would then be their gladiators, and the people, they would just fight and just drain the people of all their sanity, their emotions, their dignity, and their money along at the same time. And so we realized there's a lot of similarity between the death of a relationship and a death of a loved one. High emotions, a lot of frazzled feelings. There are technical things that have to be done, but it's so hard to get to that because of all the emotions. So we started approaching the concept of divorce from the same concept we did with the death in the family. It's the death of the relationship. So we've come upon what we call the humane divorce. It's a mediation, which is one of the new ways of dealing with alternative dispute resolutions in the law, where a mediator, and we have a trained mediator on staff, tries to get couples to come together and come up with their own agreement and work them through what the issues are, what their emotional issues are, how they come to an agreement that is fully compatible with what the law requires and what the law will allow, so that at the end of the time they have their agreement. If we can do this without lawyers, we do not represent either party, we help them come together, then we will then produce the documents that they can then take to court to be able to fulfill all the technical aspects of it. We find that when this is successful, we do a tremendous good in saving their sanity, saving their relationship, quite often with the in-laws, with their kids, and with each other. Because if you've got kids involved, you may get a divorce, but you're still going to have to deal with each other for a number of years, even all the way up to the graduations and weddings. So you have to develop, keep as much of the humanity in there as you possibly can. And we can save, in our experience, up to as much as 90% on the cost as well as going through it a little bit faster. Obviously, every couple is different, and what their needs are is different, and what we have to do is a tremendous amount of almost counseling and psychology going along. But to get to the technical is relatively easy for us. It is the emotional part that is so difficult, and that's the part that traditional legal way of doing divorce totally misses.
That makes a lot of sense, especially that emotional part. And I think we probably all know someone that's gone through a divorce and probably know someone that has spent way too much money going through that process, sometimes even more money than they may be worth. Would you say that's one of the biggest benefits to going through this humane process then?
Well, when we save money as part of it, that's kind of, in my mind, I mean, not to everybody it's that way, but in my mind, that's kind of one of the side effects. The same thing is saving your sanity.
Right.
Saving your relationship with your children. Saving what can help with dealing with the mother or the father of your children, dealing with the in-laws, dealing with everyone, being able to even keep your sanity while you go to work every day. For many people that go through this, a regular traditional divorce is adversarial, they're just shattered. They have a hard time keeping their work, they have a hard time being effective at other things they're doing, and it just takes a tremendous toll on them. This is a much simpler, in fact, that's why we call it humane. It is dealing with the death of a relationship. It's highly unfortunate, but it's a reality. And it does it in a way that respects our humanity and the humanity of everybody involved.
Now, what if someone refuses to go through this process? Because I would imagine you have to have both parties really agree to this.
That's absolutely one of the criteria for this is that both parties have to be willing to do it. If one party is absolutely convinced they're going to sabotage or they're not going to give in, they're going to dig in their heels, and by golly, this is my chance to fight, and I'm going to inflict as much pain as possible, they're not a candidate for humane divorce. From our experience, we think between 50 to 70% of the couples that have to go through divorce are good candidates, and somewhere between 30 to 50% are not.
Okay.
And sometimes you're caught in the middle, you don't know which way you're going to want to go, and that's where some of the early pre-counseling comes in to help you figure out, is this something that is appropriate for you or not.
And this really will help them feel like they're not getting taken advantage of also, because a lot of times they might feel pressured, to kind of settle, not have someone represent them. You should really always have someone represent you, or at least help you get to something that makes a lot, that's best for both sides.
Clearly, we have to explain to all the couples coming in that each one of them is entitled to have their own attorney and representation, and they probably should be looking to have an attorney review the documents to make sure that everything is going for them, but they're not trying to have the adversarial gladiator involvement of attorneys.
Excellent. Well, this is all fantastic information. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to tell our viewers how they can get a hold of you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In addition to living trusts and wills, J.R. Phillips and Associates can help you achieve a humane divorce. Call them today to talk to someone who understands your situation. Their number is 303-741-2400, or visit their website, jrphillipslaw.com. The number again is 303-741-2400. J.R. Phillips and Associates paid for this segment. The Department of Regulatory Agencies licenses thousands of professionals and regulates hundreds of businesses in Colorado. Coming up, we speak with a DORA official about why it's important for consumers to know who they're working with.